Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ignorant Intellectual on Media. Today, I thought we'd do the S's in my film library. We've done up to, I think the last one we did was Q and R, so next would be S. I'm just making the assumption that S is going to be large enough that I won't have to do T because, S and T are, with N and E and that are really popular letters for movie titles, right? Um, So we'll do the S's, and if I'm completely wrong, we'll do the T's. But I don't think so. I don't think I'm wrong on that one. All right, so I'll meet you over at the shelves, and we'll go from there. All right, I'll talk to you in a second. Bye for now. Hello, everyone, and I'm back. So let's start with the S's in my collection. They involve a little bending, I think. So if you hear my voice leaning over, you'll know why. All right. So first up is Steelbook Blu-ray of Salt. All right. Angelina Jolie, my kind of movie. I like action movies that star lead characters that are female. All right. Next up is Samurai Jack. Then we got Bill Hicks, Sane Man. Not big on collecting stand-up comedians on DVD or Blu-ray, but when you come across one that's as difficult to find as that one, you keep it. Pause. Come on, it's Hicks, right? So, all right. Next up is the Saragossa manuscript. All right, one of the films I picked up from a gentleman that I bought like 2,000 films off of. A lot of this kind of thing from the 20s to the 50s, 60s, 70s films. Right. Found this for a really cheap price. Not a huge fan of the Saw films, but this gives me all of them in the collection on one DVD case, so can't go wrong with that. I may have a friend over who enjoys it, so I'd watch it with him if you want it. Although I did a rant on horror films from the turn of the century, turn of the millennium, the 2000s, especially the film Hostel. It just kind of turned me off of horror cinema. I haven't really watched horror cinema since. All right, scenes from a mall. Woody Allen and Bette Midler. All right. What's up after that? Looks like it's a BFI film, British Film Institute. Another one in that collection of the 2000 films I got. Schlacken the Painter. All right. After that is the original School for Scoundrels. All right. And then we have Sci-Fi Creature Classics, 4-movie collection on DVD. What are the 4 movies, you say? They are 20 Million Miles to Earth, The Giant Claw, It Came from Beneath the Sea, and Mothra. All right. And then we got Classics from Outer Space. All right. Attack from Space, Flash Gordon, Rocket Ship, Assignment, Outer Space, and more. 10 movies on 3 DVDs. All right. So there we go. Those are all the films. All right. We'll move over to the next shelf. And we got Randolph Scott into Westerns, The Fighting Westerner and Man of the Forest. And then Scream and Scream and Scream again. Oh, I'm kidding. Scream and Scream again. All right. So this is, if you notice up top, see that? Let it focus. It says Twilight Time. I don't know what it is about Twilight Time, but you looking for Twilight Time films on the secondary market, They're extremely expensive. Don't know why. Maybe I know they when they put out their titles, they limit them. I know there's a limit to the number that they put out, but I haven't figured out the logic of that yet. Um, uh, so, are you telling me that, let's say I have a boutique cinema label, and I'm going to put out, I don't know, one of my all-time favorite movies that's really difficult to find. I just found it recently only because I got it for Christmas. Was Gregory's Girl. So you're telling me that if a boutique cinema label put out Gregory's Girl and limited to, let's say, 5,000 copies, or let's say 500 copies, um, and everybody bought all the 500 copies, the incentive to buy them, I guess, is to get a copy before they run out, and then they get a deluge of emails saying, "Well, I didn't get the film, and I want the film. You guys are a film company. Put out more of them, right?" So then they put out more of them, and all the people that spent the money on the first place to get those first 500 copies, maybe they have a numerical system on the back of the Blu-ray or the 4K or the DVD or whatever, that has a number on it. And now they're flooding the market with a bunch of more of them. That the people that bought them originally wouldn't be upset that you're selling more of them, but you are a business, and I guess I guess that type of thing would be what you would have to guesstimate the amount of people because you would want to maximize the amount of sales you made for making it, especially if you cleaned it up, if you restored it on 2K or 4K or whatever, right? Um, cleaned up the 35 millimeter or whatever film stock you ended up getting the film from, right? So um, you're going to want to sell most of the, you know, you're going to want to sell as many as you possibly can. So you do a print run of, you know, uh, I don't know, 500 copies or whatever, and then you say that it's limited, and so people buy it, and then you put out more. You're just going to piss those people off. But like I said, you're a business. You want to sell as many as you can. So why even do that in the first place? Why not just say there's 500 copies now, and if there's enough demand for it, we'll make more. If not, then that's all there is, right? Um, so I don't understand that. Twilight Time seemed to do that. Like they would have like 5,000 copies or 1,000. I can't remember the exact numbers. I'd have to go research it again. But they would have a limited number of, you know, of items for you to purchase, and I think that's why they're so expensive on the secondary market, right? So um, it's ridiculous to it's what you're calling creating scarcity rather than scarcity coming about like naturally. Like over time, people throw shit out, and there'll be less and less of them, right? So, but when you manufacture it just to make sales, I don't know. It's not a good. I don't know who thinks that up. I mean, that type of idea just killed the card collecting market. I mean, people still collect baseball cards and stuff, but nobody is as enthusiastic about it, at least that I know, on it because of the expense and manufacturing these cards that are unique and putting them in box sets. That maybe you'll get a chance of getting it, and then you pull it out and it's worth $500, right? You don't have to wait 30 years before the card is worth something, right? So, anyways, it's my opinion, anyways, it's a stupid way of doing business. It's a stupid way. You just you kill your market doing that. Um, the best way, if you are going to do it that way, the smartest way to do it is the way that Arrow does it. All right, and Arrow, has the guys over at Arrow have brains in their heads, right? So, where they'll do a really nice special edition of it in a nice hard cardboard box set with extras and maybe a poster and some postcards and other things. Really um, make it doll it up. I guess you could say is an old expression, and do the cleanup, have a whole bunch of extra features. And then after that print run, let's say they do a print run of 500 of those. If those sell and there's still a demand for more, then they'll put out a regular edition, like a regular Blu-ray case of the film, right, with maybe a booklet or maybe not, just basically the discs or whatever, not all the bells and whistles or whatever, right? That's if you're going to do it, that's probably the best way to do it, right? So, not just say you're going to limit it to 500, because what that does is you're going to see a niche market for that film if it's more popular than you thought it was, and then you can't put out any more copies. Otherwise, you're going to get a reputation for being assholes, right? So it's just a stupid way of doing it, at least in my opinion. Maybe you have a different opinion. Leave your opinion in the comments. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know, but let me know. All right. So up next is uh, Icons of Screwball Comedy, Volume 1. All right. So 4 classics. So if you could only cook too many husbands, my sister Eileen, and she wouldn't say yes. All right. So this is a 2-volume set. This is Volume 1. All right. There's the back. All right. Where was I? Right here, I think. All right. Yeah, here's Volume 2. All right, this one has Theodora Goes Wild, Together Again. The Doctor Takes a Wife and a Night to Remember. All right. Up after that is second chorus. And then we have one of my favorite animated films, The Secret of Nim. Basically about smart mice and rats. All right. And we got its sequel, which pales in comparison. It's not very good at all, but I have the first. Might as well get the second as well. It's just not that good of a film at all. And then we have The Secret of Rowan Inish. Right. Then we have See No Evil, Hear No Evil. These guys were great. They worked together great. They made a few movies together. Whenever I find a copy of the Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder film, I'll pick it up because the two of them work really well together. They're really funny. So this one, I think there's 2 others that they did together. I may be wrong. It may only be one, but I think there was 2 others. That's Selma. And then we have The Servant. Seven Days in May. Seven Psychopaths. Shadow. Shadow Lands. I have the classic blaxploitation Shaft. And we have one of the 2 Shaft films starring Samuel L. Jackson. And we have the second Shaft film. Original Shaft Big Score. I think this was the second one. And we have Shall We Dance. I saw this in the theaters when it came out, and I laughed my ass off. I found it so funny. But when they marketed it back in the theaters, it wasn't called Shall We Dance. It was called Shall We Dance Sue. All right. So I don't know why they changed it to an English dance, but and it just confuses you with the Richard Gere. There's a Richard Gere film called Shall We Dance as well, but this is the one. If you're going to get a Shall We Dance film, this is the film that you want to get. It's a Japanese film, and it's basically about a man who's married, but he's kind of bored with his life. He has a wife and child. He just started a mortgage on a new home for them, and he's kind of getting a bit melancholic in his life. It's like he goes to work every day and has his family at home, and he looks into the future and there's no excitement in it, right? So then he's on the train going home, and he's looking out the window of the train, and he sees this building, and on the second floor of the building there's this beautiful woman staring out into the sky or whatever. She's got this melancholic look on her face as well, and he kind of attaches to it, and he sees that um, she's a dancer because it's a dance studio that he's looking at. So he decides he's going to um, take up ballroom dancing, right? So, um, and in the Japanese culture, ballroom dancing is frowned upon. So, anyways, it's a quite funny. It's quite a funny film. So it took me years to actually find it, and it's only on DVD. I don't even know if it came out on Blu-ray or not. Probably not. Shane. The Shanghai Gesture. The She Beast. Shed No Tears. The guy I bought those 2000 films off of was a huge film noir fan, because there must be 200 films in his collection that I got off of film noirs. So then we have 3-disc set of 10 movies of Sherlock Holmes. All right. I think this is mostly Basil Rathbone, if I remember correctly. He's kind of synonymous with Sherlock Holmes until Robert Downey Jr. did those two movies. Chitan. Shinjuku Incident, Jackie Chan. I have a plethora of Jackie Chan films. Whenever I see them, I always pick them up. And we have Ship of Fools. Then we have Silver Load. And then we have the box set of Shogun Assassin. So it's 5-film collector set. All right. Shogun Assassin, Shogun Assassin 2, Shogun Assassin 3, 4 and 5. But I don't know, there's a bit of confusion in this. I can't remember exactly what the confusion is, but I had confusion trying to catalog that set of films. Anyways, maybe you can explain it to me, because they were like incorrectly named or something. Maybe you have that box set and noticed it, and you have an idea of what's going on with that box set. Shoot 'em up. This film was panned, but I'm a fan of Paul Giamatti. I like Paul Giamatti films, and This is basically what it says. It's a shoot 'em up, basically. If you're looking for a serious plot or anything else other than people shooting at each other, then yeah, it's probably not the film for you. But if if you find it fun, just people, just straight up action, guns and girls or whatever, just everybody shooting everybody. It's quite a fun film. All right, next stuff after that is, if I can get it out here, Short Night of Glass Dolls. It's an Italian giallo film. There's a giallo collection that this is part of, but I don't have any of the other films in this collection. I just have this one. Next up after that is Short Term 12. And then Sick. And then Sid and Nancy. And the Andy Sedaris collection. They call it 12 film set. Girls, Guns, and G-Strings. And we have Silent Partner. And the Arrow film, Silent Running. I have Silkwood. We have a classic musical, Singing in the Rain. Surprised I haven't found this on Blu-ray. And we have the Robert Siodmak collection. All right. And we have one that doesn't fit, just Slugs. So kind of have it laying on top like that. So we'll do that first, Slugs. All right. Then we have The Skull, which is a Eureka Cinema, is it? Yeah, Eureka Cinema, The Skull. Then we have The Sky Crawlers. Then we have Soul Cinema. I think this is a blaxploitation collection of DVDs. They called it Soul Cinema. I don't know how many are in the collection. I'd have to do the research, but you can find these DVDs. I found 2 of them so far. So, starring Jim Brown, Slaughter. Right. And then the second of the films, Slaughter's Big Ripoff. And then we have Slightly Scarlet. And then we have Sling Blade. I watched this a few months ago, and I was really impressed by it. But do you think I can remember anything about it now? That's how bad my memory is. I'll just have to watch, the first 10 minutes of the film, and then it would all come back to me, and I would know what the film is about. But the impression that you get from a film after you watch it, even if you forget it, um, uh, Smash Palace, by the way, is a Arrow Academy film. Right? The impression will always stay with you, even if you don't remember the exact details of the film, right? So um, it's funny, when I was young, I watched film. They were quite, impressionable, and I would only have to watch a film maybe once or twice. Um, this is Slither, once or twice to remember the whole film, pretty much. Maybe not exact details, but I remember the film very well, right? So, but now I seem to watch films and I even forget the name of the film, so I don't know. Here's Snakes on a Plane. Now, this one was panned as well, but anybody who pans this film, I think, is missing the point, because this is the type of film that isn't supposed to be good on purpose, right? If you understand what I mean. There are some films that people will come out with that have a B film mentality, and they celebrate it, right? This is kind of celebration of that B type of movie. Nobody took it seriously, and if you took it seriously, then I think you're missing the point. But if you don't take it seriously and come into with that non-serious attitude, you'll quite enjoy this film, I think. So I still haven't found it on Blu-ray, though. It's not like it wasn't an unpopular film or a difficult film to find. And then one of my favorite Hong Kong actresses, Shuki, so I picked this film up. It's not all that great, but it has her in it. So I first saw her on film in the Jason Statham film, The Transporter, the first Transporter film. She was in it. I went, cool, I have to look for her in other films, and then I found that film. So we have Soldier, starring Kurt Russell. This is a pretty good film. It's not bad. And then Solomon and Sheba. It's on the top, so I'll do it first. Okay. And then we have some guy who kills people. And then we have Son of Rambow. Looks like this one was a blockbuster film. To change out the DVD case for that. So I think I'm going to stop there. We've hit almost 30 minutes. So we'll have a part 2 of the S's. The S's are quite long, it seems, because I'm still looking around and I still got like 4 or 5 of these box sections to go for the S's. So we're about halfway through. All right, so that's good. So look for a part 2, and thank you for watching my video. Leave a thumbs up if you like it. Think about subscribing. I would appreciate that. And I'll talk to you in my next video. You have a great day, okay? And talk to you later. Bye for now.